Hotsquile, Eoch Tanoyup, Naquemiston, Queen Quisham, Sam Seward, Queen Sna, Itsame Uckin Sneechum, Naquemiston, Quana Squeech, Denason Uck, Squamish, Okomeo, Antha Snenaimu. Tanatsamat and Squalwin, Tanatsamat to Squal. Hi, Tsapka, Si Amansiaya, and Salakwa. With. My ancestral name is Naquemiston. I am Sam Seward. I am Squamish Nation and Nanaimo. And I said today we work together with one mind, one heart for that good feeling. Thank you. Great one. I've been in the game I'll be 59 years this year. I'll be 64. So I've been playing since I was 5. So 1961 I started, and we had our own North Shore Indians minor lacrosse association, and it was all mums and dads that were coaching. So I came through almost with almost all native teams all the way through my minors, and so that was a good experience. And we played in lacrosse boxes till you finished midgets, and then we finally got to play in arenas. So I remember all these boxes going to Burnaby, New West, and they're good games, and we're playing outside, and so yeah. Probably because it was always been a part of me since a young age. My mom was coaching, my dad was coaching a different team, and so it was always a part of my life. I was always either playing or I was in the arena with my mom and dad, and you make lifelong friends. You see the same people. I grew up with my friends, and not everybody can play at the same level. So we're moving up, and some of our friends will quit and they'll play soccer, basketball, whatever, So, but I think that's what comes with the friendship and the sportsmanship, and you keep playing for years, and then we all know how we play. We can play together. Like I was talking about the Can-Am Warriors, Barry Powless, Jeff Gill, Chucky Martin came out to play with us, and good lacrosse players. So, and then we got to know them, and we could play with them. And once we all retired, we still played Masters lacrosse. If we traveled back Akwesasne or Ganawagi, we phone them, and they'd be there, and they'd come and play with us. So it's a lifelong friendship. I just ran into Freeman Bucktooth, coached Iroquois U19 boys in World Field Lacrosse in Coquitlam. So I spent some time with him, getting to talk to him, and I hadn't talked to him in 30 years or longer now. It's like I just saw him yesterday. So he was. My dad played goal for the North Shore Indians. So since my dad played goal, I think I played goal 1 year when I was Pee-wee. We didn't have anybody else, and you're in goal, so okay. And my mom always coached. BCLA has 2 coaching awards named after my mom for coaching, box and field. So yeah, I was playing North Shore Indians Junior B, and I think a gentleman by the name of Peter Black was the manager, and he came over to the North Shore, watched me play, and then let me shower, and I came out, and he pulled me aside, and I talked to him. And he asked if I'd be interested in trying out with the Salmonbellies the following season. And I said, yes, I'd love to. And we started training, say, like early, it was December, January, and we were driving out to White Rock and doing training in a gym. And we finally moved to the gym below Queen's Park, and they said, don't bring any lacrosse stuff, and we were just training. So by the time we got on the floor, I don't remember, it was February, March, we were in good shape. So I thought we had a good team. We lost out to Burnaby. They beat us out 7 games, and they went back east and beat Whitby for the Minto. So, and I actually played with some of the guys. I knew a couple of guys when I played with I played with Mario Gavorchan when I was younger, and Gary Lindsay I played with, and I knew Bruce Turris. I I played with Ivan Tura and his brother. I still see Ivan all the time, go and talk to him. And probably, I was 21 here. More comfort, I guess, my comfort zone. I go home, back and play with my friends and the older guys I grew up playing with. They're like 4 or 5 years older than me that I got to play with. So I know Adnax were calling, and I said no. I'm staying home, play with our North Indians. So, and it was a good choice for me. We had a good team all through my career. So. The West Coast Senior Lacrosse Association, Senior B. Yeah, I was Senior B. There was Vancouver, Burnaby was Kirby Clippers. Nanaimo has always had a team. Poco. So yeah, that's about it. I think we're always in the top 3. We might have won the league. 1980, we're playing. We had a good team, and Ross Paulus brought a team out called the Can-Am Warriors, the Iroquois lacrosse team, and I didn't even know who they were, and we played them at home, North Van, and we beat them the first night, and then they beat us the second night, and then Ross came in the dressing room, called me out, and asked if I'd like to play in the Worlds, and I said I'd love to. He said, okay, see you later, go back in. So, and I got to play with the Can-Am Warriors in Nations in 80. You're playing against the best players from every area. So the competition was good and playing hard, and I was lucky. I got to play a lot. I faced off in my time, and back in the day, we'd have face-offs in the corners that took every corner. It wasn't possession. If the ball went off of me, it's not the other team's ball. We'd face off in the corner, so I'd run out, face off. So back then, we played lines and played both ends of the floor. We weren't running off when we lost the ball. We had to run back and play some defense. And if I was facing off, win or lose, the coach would say, stay out there. I played power play every position, shot, point man, and crease. And then for a man short, and it's a long run to the bench, I'd get to stay out, and they'd put me on top on a man short. So we used to call them old timers, or our elders that played, and they did good when they played. So and I knew there were elders when I was a teenager, and I'd go to my friend's house, and that would be their dad or their grandfather, like the 1936 Indians that went back east. So I knew a lot of those guys just from my friends. I'd go to their house after, and I'd talk to them about lacrosse. And Andy Paul's part of that generation 36 team. And then when you're talking the 50s, that's another generation of players, and they had a good run. A good lacrosse team. So you talk to a lot of lacrosse players, and a lot of the stuff we just do automatic, but when you're teaching, you have to break it down, and I'm doing it, and yeah, so it's a little different thinking once you're coaching from playing. So we're trying to share with our young athletes what we learned and what works, but then we have to look at it, we have to break it down, how do we do that, and then show the athletes. It has. We're close with like all the different nations. We've traveled. When I was 16, I started playing. There used to be a tournament called Jim Thorpe Tong Longboat, the big all-native tournament, and back then we used to have to try out. We had Junior B, Senior B, and Senior C. So we had probably at least 60, 70 guys trying out for this traveling team, and I played with, like I said, the friendship. I played with the same 4 guys. We played on the line, and we all made the team. We were 16 years old. We went back to Caughnawaga, Montreal, just outside of Montreal. And that was pretty physical. They saw how young we were, and wow. So, but what an awesome experience. Next year, I was 17. 73, we went to 6 Nations, and the arena's called the Gaylord Powless Arena, and I got to play against Gaylord. I think he was pretty well done now, his knees, but I got to know him, and I met him, and So yeah, and we have friends, Akwesasne's just across the border, about an hour from Ottawa. So yeah, I was 12 years old. I think I was about 12, 1968, and my dad brought me to Man Cup, the old Carrollsdale Arena. I think they were the Vancouver Carlings then. And Gaylord played with the Brooklyn Redmen. He came out. I thought he would, to me, still, I know there's so many awesome, incredible box lacrosse players now, but he's still my favorite player that I've ever watched play lacrosse. So just the stick skills, and there's a calmness of him. You see him watch him. He's walking on the floor, and it's just a part of his life. What he does, we're born in. It's a part of your life. It's what you do. So. The only last one was probably the last one I saw, and he has a lot of brothers. And I was coaching in North American Indigenous Games in Victoria, and Gaylord had his son was playing with Ontario, and I was walking, and he was walking by, and I said, "Hey, Gary." His brother Gary played goal for Six Nations, and he said, "No, I'm Gaylord." I said, "Oh, Gaylord." He said, "Who are you?" And I said, "Sam," because we're quite a ways away. He said, "Seward." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, good to see you, Sammy." And he was gone, and that's the last time I saw him. But he was a nice person, like so humble to me when I talked to him, and so. And I told him I appreciated his game, and he said about for me when he saw me play when I was 17 in Six Nations. So. I don't know. I was happy, calm. I was calm and peaceful, like I was talking about Gaylord. I'm calm. I walk on the floor and I'm home. I look around me and I see, or even in the dressing room, and then you look on the floor and you see who you're playing with. I'm going, "Wow, we're okay. We'll be okay." And you can't win every game. You just keep playing hard. I have these young athletes ask me whether we're having a bad game. What do we do? I said, "You just play hard. We have bad games. Just keep playing." And yeah, it was a comfort zone for me being on the floor. And I told you I look forward to facing off. I want that ball, and I want that ball. So now when I coach, I'll pick out even in the tryouts, I'll get whose faces off. I might get a lot of guys, and we'll try them, and I'll get it down to 3 or 4. And then once I pick my, say, 2 for the all-star teams, I'll say, I want that ball 100%. Don't hit it away. Don't kick it. I said, even if it's 50-50, you have to get that ball. So I try to just put it into their mind, right? Don't be. You have to fight for that ball. That's why you're in that position. So you're doing what you want to do when you have possession of the ball. The other team's adjusting to you. So we want that ball. It was a good season. I think we beat Victoria to get into the President's Cup, and we beat Orangeville in the finals, and they had Terry Sanderson and his brother. I think they had a couple of brothers, so they were playing with Orangeville. So they had a good team. We had Ben Hieltjes. He came with us back then. He got drafted by Vancouver, and I guess he didn't want to play Vancouver. And there was used to be a senior B draft, and our management drafted Ben, and he showed up and played with us all year. And we had run the President's Cup. We had the guys from back east, I was telling you. I think Chuck Martin got 7 goals in the final game. Gaylord Powless. These guys are all in Ontario Lacrosse Hall of Fame. So. No, he was there. Not like today where you only have to play 2 games, and that's when you only see these guys. But yeah, I don't like that. I don't care for that. So, but Ben was there at practice and played league, and yeah. So, like I said earlier, it's tough when you get to championship play. You're playing all the best teams, all the best players, the goalies, and then after we won, I think everybody retired pretty well, and
that was kind of the last hurrah.
For most of us, and I was only like 29 years old, and I retired, but I was busted up, so broken ankle, I've had knee surgery, my back and my hip, I told you, separated shoulder, knocked out twice in lacrosse. So back then, no concussion procedures back then, so you wake up and you're in an empty dressing room laying on a tarp, and you're like, what happened? And there are a bunch of people around. What are you doing? We're playing lacrosse. Where are you at? I said, I'm in Burnaby. What's your name, Sam? You want to play? Yep. Let's go. Pick me up and I'm back out. You want a drink of water? Yep. That's how it was. We have trainers and they test our players, and we were in the playoffs in Nanaimo, and I had two guys they were furious because the trainer wouldn't let them play, and they coming to me, I can play. I said, no, the trainer said you can't, and it's a brain injury, you can't play. So we're in Ontario for the North American Indigenous Games a couple of years ago, and they had a doctor in every arena. So and that's a tough part of lacrosse is the injuries, and we can only bring 18 runners, 2 goalies. So, and it's my offensive guys getting hurt. I had 3-4 guys injured and they couldn't play, so I'm down to 14 runners. And maybe 3 or 4 offensive guys. I got to move a couple of guys off that are not bad in transition and get them to play offense. So. He played, yeah, I used to watch him play in Old Kerrisdale Arena.
Oh, did you?
Peter Black, yeah.
Well, you were young, so you would have been there,
Yeah, I was about 12 years old. But unfortunately, he wasn't around for the season. I played with the Salmonbellies. He moved to England. So, but he was awesome. He came, recruited me, and yeah. Probably winning a playoff game in the old Burnaby Lake Arena that has bleachers on the one side. We're playing there, and like I told you, I had a bad knee, and then getting close to the end of the season, I hurt my other knee. I don't know if somebody tackled me or what. So I'm walking out there like RoboCop. I'm all braced up and taped up, and coach put me on the point. I said, I can't get back, but he wanted me out there. I face off, and I get the ball, and then he said, just walk it up. So I walk up, and I was moving it, and then I sent it got down to left crease, and I just kind of walked up. I couldn't run. And I got in the middle, and I got the ball, and this guy spun me around, and I just shot like that, and I scored. And I couldn't even get up. Harry Powless yanked me up, and the coach trying to tell me to go face. I said, no, and Harry pushed me to the bench, and I started walking to the bench. That's one of the biggest things I remember, because I could barely walk, and here I am playing lacrosse. The things we used to do, right? I'm going, wow, man. That's crazy. If I could go back, I'd like to listen to all my coaches talk, because they're gone now. They're gone, and so it's gone forever. Whatever they were, lacrosse is a game. We're taught a game, and then we teach. We teach after. A lot of the men that are coaching are older, like your minor, junior, senior, and all these men have played at a high level of lacrosse, and they're sharing with us what they taught. And I can't go back and get that. So that's one of the biggest things. If I could go back and listen to all my teachers and some of my players, my teammates have passed on, and just talk about what we want to do. Like, you playing lacrosse, you have a coach, yet there's 5 of us on the floor. The coach is giving us something to do, and then if that doesn't work, we're saying what we're going to do. We'll try it right away. The coach wants us to do it. And then if we have a lot of time on 30-second clock, we'll run what we want to run. So, but that's the biggest thing. I do mentorship speaking. I network when I go into elementary, high school, native reserves, and do lacrosse clinics. So mostly in Fraser Valley, the Aboriginal liaisons for the high schools will call me. They might have the minimum was about 2. They might have 10 athletes going away on athletic scholarships, college, university. And I go in, they have an informal lunch. They'll give them soup sandwich, and once the athletes start talking, she'll say, go ahead. And then I just tell my lacrosse story, like what I'm sharing with you today, and that's for the athletes. And that's the biggest question I get. What comes to mind to me is what would you could do if you could go back in time. I said, I'd like to hear my coaches talk to me again. And because we take out, we're always taught, take what's good for you, and then thank that person, thank you, hi, Chikasiam. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. If I could go back and even just to see these coaches and players would be awesome. So.